where the Cascades meet the sea. That's what everybody's come to know the Chuckanuts as. And you can see it right here, the Chuckanut Range kind of disappearing into a fog bank, which is basically Georgia Strait and northern Puget Sound, leading out to the San Juan Islands and beyond. From this vantage point, it's just spectacular. Nowhere is there an expanse of wildland like this so close to saltwater and virtually on the doorsteps of 500,000 people or more. Even with Bellingham, a city of 100,000, lying right next door, you can still count on a beautiful night sky over the Chuckanuts. The Chuckanuts are mostly used by hikers. There are more than 60 miles of trails in the Chuckanut Mountains. About a third of that mileage is on Blanchard Mountain. Blanchard is really the crown jewel of the Chuckanuts. From the south, the mountain forms the beginning of the Chuckanut Range as it rises above the rich farmlands along the Samish River. From the east, Blanchard Mountain stands unassuming above Lake Samish and the surrounding lowlands. The mountain delivers clean water to streams and rivers that support salmon and steelhead runs. Some of these streams also feed Samish Bay, which helps clean the waters of Puget Sound. There are many outstanding trails here. One is the Pacific Northwest National Scenic Trail, just established by Congress and signed into law by the President in March of 2009. It's pretty exciting to have that trail running through the Chuckanuts, and it goes right across the heart of Blanchard Mountain. The hang gliders and paragliders consider this the best launch anywhere along the coast of Washington's inland sea. You've got good, reliable updrafts coming up from the west and the south. They can use this area year-round. Blanchard Mountain rises almost 2,400 feet above sea level. It's the steepest, most abrupt uplift anywhere along the shores of Greater Puget Sound. It tops out near what's called Oyster Dome. There's actually a higher summit that's wooded, but Oyster Dome gives you that $1,000,000 view out to the San Juan Islands. In fact, you can see the Olympic Mountains, you can see the Coast Range of Canada, you're standing in the Chuckanut Range, and if you go around the corner a little, you can see the North Cascades, so it's quite the vantage point. Here, the trail to Lily and Lizard Lakes offers one of the best family-friendly forest walks on the mountain. We did a little survey early in 2010 and found that the largest single group of trail users on Blanchard Mountain were actually from the Seattle area. And that was surprising to us. Everybody assumed, well, Bellingham, it's all those college kids who are out hiking in the Chuckanuts. But we found that the Seattle area generated the largest group of users up here. The state DNR estimates that about 50,000 people a year visit Blanchard Mountain. If you count trail users in the entire Chuckanuts, you're up into the hundreds of thousands. And if you count people who camp and picnic at Larrabee State Park, then you're well over 1 million people a year who are out enjoying the Chuckanut Mountains. It's quite a popular place. These mountains do support a thriving ecosystem. The forest here was logged nearly a century ago, so it has had a lot of time to recover. In fact, that recovery has happened naturally. So many second-growth forests in western Washington are really plantation forests. The native trees were cut down and replaced with single-species trees, typically Douglas fir, so we now have even-aged, one-species tree farms that really aren't well-functioning ecosystems at all. By contrast, on Blanchard Mountain, we have a rare example of a naturally regenerated forest with trees of all sizes, ages, and species, well on its way to becoming old growth. The Oyster Creek watershed, unspoiled by development, it remains an important refuge for wildlife. It's amazingly intact. As wonderful as this place is, it is threatened by logging and development. But there is hope. The Chuckanut Conservancy is working to protect this exceptional place. You come to a place like this and you just think, wow, I live here. People will spend thousands of dollars to come to places like this. And here we are. Not only is that a great benefit of living in Northwest Washington, but I think it's also a responsibility. There is so much to enjoy and appreciate here. We need to really take care of this place so that those who come after us can enjoy it too. Between Larrabee State Park and Blanchard Mountain, we have the last and largest roadless area on the shores of Greater Puget Sound. There just isn't anything else like this anywhere. Most of the coastal region has been developed and paved over, yet here we have this 10,000-acre wild place that's still largely intact. Well, we hope to keep it that way.